Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sickest health show on the internet. Now, with significantly less cancer. I hope.
Hello, Joseph. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. Yourself?
I'm alright, but I thought you had a pretty crappy week. I thought we finally had some momentum in the whole How's It Going Joe saga.
I did, but it's getting a little bit better now. And don't, put the horse before the cart.
Is that the expression? Like, don't shoot the bear while you hatch your chickens on the roof with the skin in your hand?
Something like that, exactly. It's pretty amazing so far. Now, this is episode 8. The first 7, we've practically have now 10,000 views on YouTube.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool indeed. Now, if every one of those people would like it and subscribe, that would make things even better.
I mean, there's tons of shit out there that get millions of views, so we're only at a modest 10K, but we're getting there.
Also, for those watching who don't speak English, who are watching in French with the subtitles that might be down here, then again, they might not yet, because like last week, they were a bit late. At the time of this recording, they still haven't been finished because the guy working on the subtitles is really slow and a bit of a dick.
Also, he has cancer.
That's true, it's me. Yeah, I've been in the subtitles, and it takes a bit of time, especially that I think the parts that people most need subtitles for are the parts that are the least subtitleable.
Subtitleable, that's a good word. Just give me a second, Joe. To all of you out there who need these subtitles because you're French speakers and you never paid attention in school, shouldn't you feel bad for forcing this cancerous man to take time out of his recovery to write a language you should already know, a universal language, to make our international jokes that work all over the world apart from French-speaking countries work? Am I pushing it too far or not far enough? I'm thinking, shame on you, shame. All right, that was too far. All right, I'm done, Joe.
Also, if anybody watching us happens to have like a subtitling company and wants to do some pro bono work and subtitle some cancer, that'll make you look really good on your social media and stuff. So don't hesitate to contact us. We don't do ads very often in this show since we don't have a sponsor yet. So I was thinking I might take a moment to also make an ad for me.
So you're writing a love letter for the public?
No, a love letter to wanting to earn money.
That old chestnut.
Because you mentioned it before, cancer is kind of my full-time job at the moment. Mm-hmm. But at some point, I'm going to need to get another job because I've been out of work for a little while, not because of the cancer.
Yes.
And so if anybody wants to hire me to do voiceover work, to do that movie guy voice kind of thing, or to babysit your kids, or I don't know.
I mean, cancer is not contagious, so he can easily babysit your children and potentially teach them some English.
I can do subtitles because I go a lot faster when I'm paid to do them.
So employers out there, both domestically and international, please hire my buddy Joe. He is worth every dime, nickel, shekel, yen, lira, kroner, pound, anything you want to throw his way. This is not charity. This is getting a man back on his feet. And I'm guessing, Joe, that having cancer is not a well-paid gig.
Yeah, no, it costs more than it makes you, I think.
Yeah, so essentially you're just a burden to society.
Yeah, one could say that.
Interesting point. My father, the doctor, I don't actually refer to him as that, I usually say Pops. He said that we should emphasize the importance of living in the Western world. Not that we're better than anyone, obviously, but the fact that healthcare is available and given to you without much hassle is something that we shouldn't take for granted, or you shouldn't take for granted.
He's absolutely right. It is quite amazing that basically I went into a hospital because I had a sore back. I didn't even have my insurance card on me because I had it stolen in my wallet a couple of months ago. And I just walked in and got all the tests and was in the hospital before I even got my insurance card back. And so, yes, it cost me some money, obviously. I got to buy some medications. I got to pay for stuff. But it is pretty impressive to have all this taken care of pretty easily. You're right.
Yes, because if you, for instance, lived in the US, which ironically is one of the most underdeveloped countries in the world, yeah, I said it, you would have bills from here on to eternity based on the time you've spent in the hospital so far.
I'd have more bills than balls, that's for sure.
Bills and balls. Is that the name of the episode? I think so. I think definitely this is a winner.
It might be. That could also be like the name of our
Yes.
of a side spin-off show with an accountant talking about how to take care of testicular cancer and how to pay for it. Hello, welcome to Bills and Balls.
With our esteemed guest, Bill Maher, Bill Hicks, he's dead. Bill Burr, Bill Pullman, Bill Clinton. I'm running out of bills. But anyway, you shamelessly plugged yourself, and I applaud it because, I mean, you have to pay your bills. So, bills equals balls.
That's right. That's pretty. Almost sounds like we'd planned it, which we hadn't.
We never plan anything.
That's true.
I mean, we have a highlighted list of talking points, but we never seem to follow that protocol.
No, that's absolutely true. And you notice that I used absolutely in a sentence. It's slightly different. I said that's absolutely true. It's not the same as just saying absolutely.
Absolutely.
True. So you mentioned your dad, who's we've mentioned him quite a few times.
The doctor.
A big fan of the show. For all I know, I mean, the 10,000 views we've had is all your dad and my mom, 5,000 times each. It might be.
Could be.
But there's at least one other person that watches because I met a quote-unquote fan of the show.
That you didn't know from before?
That I did not know at all. A friend of a friend who's been commenting since the very first episode. He really liked it, Pablo.
Nice.
And I met him, had a beer with him the other day, and he had one funny comment. He said I was pretty lucky to have gotten a funny cancer.
Valid point.
He said, well, yeah, because testicular cancer, you can make tons of ball jokes. And he figured like colon cancer or lung cancer wouldn't be quite as funny.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I could hammer in or hammer out some pretty awful yet hilarious jokes about your ass if you had colon cancer. But he is true, lung cancer is just sad.
But if I have ball cancer, can I make jokes about the other cancers?
It's a slippery slope. I'm thinking you need some sort of permit from someone who actually has colon cancer. And when it comes to the lungs, there's not a lot of funny stuff there.
I could then start a rap career and call myself Wheezy.
I can neither confirm nor deny that this is true.
Well, because then if I can't make jokes about cancers I don't have, does that mean now that I have less cancer than I had, I can make less jokes about cancer?
You know what? I'm not sure what to reply to that, Sir Barnes. I am neither a doctor nor a well-paid comedian, even though we've basically cured cancer at this point through our moronic tales. What I want to say is that you are in the cancer club, so I'm guessing there's some leeway. I'm guessing there's some patients out there who find it funny, and those are the ones we need to attack with humor. The best medicine. I mean, the second best medicine. I am, however, looking forward to taking this shit on the road.
And like have people in the crowd yell out at cancer and we react to it?
I mean anything. If this becomes a reality, I'm thinking there will be haters no matter what. People with pitchforks and flaming torches and they'll puff up their chest and tell us how reprehensible they think we are and how much we're going to hell and all that stuff. They'll throw eggs, tomatoes, balls. That would be very funny. Just having a shit ton of balls thrown at us. Having a ball. That
would be pretty funny. We'd be like, yes.
Take this, Joe, you son of a bitch. Having a ball.
Mind you, we as we mentioned, we don't have any sponsors. If any like tennis ball companies want to sponsor us.
Wilson!
That's not a tennis ball company, but nice try. Well, I guess they do make tennis balls too. Yeah, they do, but Wilson was a volleyball.
What about Spalding? That's basketballs, right?
Yes. It's also the name of Tom Hanks' dentist in the movie.
In Castaway?
Well, he's talking to Wilson, and then he goes, as he's ripping out his teeth, and he goes, haha, funny joke, my dentist is called Spalding.
Speaking of which, do you sometimes feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway? I mean, you're all alone. All the filmmakers are around you and everything's going to be fine, but you're still all alone on that island, screaming for a ball that's no longer there, covered in blood. Aptly named Wilson.
Still better than feeling like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia.
That's an AIDS joke, ladies and gentlemen. We wanted to elevate the darkness of our topics, and we pulled it off.
But yeah, you did mention the side effects.
I did.
Which is true. So the last episode we shot was basically 3 days, I think, after my last full week of chemo. And I was still feeling pretty good. I hiccuped a couple of times in the show. And the week after that, though, was the week I would say I had it the worst since the beginning of the chemo. which makes sense, I mean, because I've had 4 rounds and it sort of accumulates. I was very tired. I slept a lot more than I had been. I had that metal battery sucking taste in my mouth again, quite a bit stronger, and it was sort of more constant all week. And I had too much saliva, which apparently is quite common.
Do you have to spit or do you swallow? That wasn't meant to be disgusting, by the way.
I swallow.
That's a quality sign, I hear.
But yeah, no, I did end up sort of almost choking myself 10 times. You know when you swallow spit down the wrong hole?
You had so much saliva you almost drowned?
No, but that's an exaggeration. But you know when you just take it down the wrong hole and you cough up a little. Yeah.
I apologize for laughing.
Yeah, no, I can see why you'd laugh at that. But so I had that. Still got my cold sores in my mouth that I've had for like 2 months, but they're getting better. They don't hurt. I can eat Italian dressing again without it stinging.
Do you eat very spicy Italian dressing?
No.
Does it hurt when you open your mouth wide? No gay jokes, by the way.
Well, we already established that I swallow anyway, so.
Yeah, but I mean, is it like, painful?
No, it did, but it's getting a lot better.
Will a cold sore be even more painful when it gets colder outside? Or is that just me being a moron?
Probably that.
Or a Welsh carrot?
Yes, we have apparently a Welshman who watches the show.
So essentially, that was one of our viewers on YouTube who commented that as a Welshman, he felt overjoyed when he heard us saying the Welsh word for carrot, which is moron, and he wanted to scream out, absolutely, to salute us. And, you know, that's funny.
Other than that, the one funny thing is I told you, I think I've already mentioned that I had sort of sore fingers.
Yes, but I left that on the editing room floor, so you're now telling the audience for the first time.
Okay, well, I've been having a little bit sore fingers and a little bit less sensitivity. Like if I drop something small on the floor, I can't pick it up.
Really?
And funnily enough...
Are you also losing your fingerprints, by the way?
Maybe.
So you can pull off any crime, because you will leave no traces, no fingerprints, unless you leave behind some other type of DNA.
But as we said, I swallow, so we're all good on that count.
But yes, fingerprints.
But so yeah, these fingertips, and I can also notice, it must be related, they're sort of purple, my fingers, through my nails. You probably won't see it, a little bit purplish.
Purple nails, purple nails.
Ah, that's because we were talking about fingerprints. Nice.
Ooh, that's nice. I love that joke, because he was very good with his fingers.
Indeed. But so one of the nurses noticed these purple fingers, and she said, oh, is that related to the chemotherapy? And I said, well, I guess you'd know better than I do. And she said, yeah, it probably is. Funnily enough, normally it's a side effect of a different chemotherapy.
The detective in me feels they've done something wrong here. Do you think this is a COVID-like situation with the vaccine, with the Pfizer and the Moderna and the AstraZeneca, and there's some sort of mix-up and they gave you the wrong stuff, and that's why you've been feeling like shit for a week, unlike the other treatments?
I hope not.
Conspiracy theory? Could this be the truth? And the truth shall set you free.
I don't think so.
So who killed JFK? Was 9/11 an inside job? Are there extraterrestrials living amongst us? Area 51, is that your ball? That big crater, is that where your ball is located? I want answers, Joe.
Possibly. And anyway, since then, though, I've actually finished chemo now.
And you removed your thingy.
I had my thingy removed. Yes, my tube. I had that tube in my arm last week. Now you can barely even see the hole.
So what did it feel like when they pulled that tube out of your arm?
Yeah, well, I had read that it looked like they were trying to start a lawnmower the way they pull it out. But I thought it was actually more like a magician pulling handkerchiefs out of his sleeve, except that the sleeve was my sleeve and I didn't have a sleeve. But it basically felt like nothing. She just said, take a breath. I didn't even have time to take a breath, and she pulled it out. And then put a little bandage on it, and a couple of hours later, I took the bandage off, and I was fine. There wasn't a drop of blood.
Interesting.
Funnily enough, my neighbor in the oncology ward, a guy behind the curtain, asked if he could watch it being taken out.
And was he allowed to?
Absolutely. Well, I was the one who got to decide. And of course I said yes. I always let people watch me take it out.
This is the most sexual show we've ever had, and we haven't even mentioned the word sex until I just said it. Now, 3 times in a row, sex.
That's correct.
But I really like the expression, the man behind the curtain. That sounds very X-Files-ish.
Well, it was just another guy getting chemotherapy, pretty young guy, and he had a tube put in, and it was completely painless for me. Apparently for him, it wasn't quite as fun getting it put in, so I guess he was a little bit worried about what it's like taking it out. So he asked if he could look, and I would imagine it reassured him because it just went boop, and that was it.
Cool.
So yeah, last round of chemo, I'm kind of gonna miss the nurses.
Well, you can still visit.
Well, yeah, I'll still be going in for blood tests and to see my oncologist, so I'll still see them. I'll miss them more than I miss my cancer, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. Rumor has it that life is all about loss and how you deal with it. So,
That's true.
time will tell.
There's one funny thing, as I've realized, you may be aware of this already, people really like cancer.
How so?
I mean, like, they like it. If you post about your own cancer, you get lots of, it feels almost like cheating.
Ooh, I see what you're saying.
I've figured out how to win social media now. Just get really sick and make posts about it.
So it's like bacon and cooking. Like every time you add bacon to anything, it becomes better.
Exactly. So cancer is the bacon of diseases? It doesn't make sense.
There's a joke in there. We're just not clever enough to find it.
But I mentioned this because I posted a picture of me with Philippe, my IV stand, and my very last bag of chemo. And I posted that on Reddit and got 15,000 likes again. So
15,000.
just because I have cancer, though. I think it could have just put anything and had the word cancer in it. People might have liked it.
So do you feel it's not sincere? It's just people pressing like because they feel they have to. They're morally obliged to do so and they want to do their good deed of the day?
There's probably a little bit of that.
That's nice.
Or they like seeing someone getting through it, because I did say it was the last round. Mm-hmm. So I got lots of supportive comments. Good for you. Keep on going. Just one guy answered, because I said last bag of the last round of chemo, and the only negative comment was one guy who said, "So far." He's not wrong, though. I had to give it to him, so yeah, I didn't mind too much.
You know what doesn't give you a lot of attention and likes on social media? That's having a friend with cancer. Because I think I've overstayed my welcome to the extremes. Because if I post, "This is a great episode, you should really watch this," I get 2 likes. That's one from you and one from your friend Olivier, who I've never met. And I don't know, I think I'm annoying people by saying, "Hey, take a look at this cancer." But last week you mentioned the younger guy who listened to our show, the guy with cancer. His mother introduced him to the show and he feels better now about his diagnosis. So yeah, that's the stuff we live for. And those are the people I care about.
I mean, it didn't cure his cancer, though. Just get that straight.
Yeah, I mean, we're not magicians.
No, that was good to hear. You're right. But it's funny, someone did ask me, like, why I posted that picture on Reddit. And so I guess the short answer is a little bit hoping to somehow get some clicks on our YouTube page and some people watching. But because the other thing is, all you get is what they call free internet points. Useless free internet points.
On Reddit, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like on Facebook or whatever. It's likes. On Reddit, they're called karma, or upvotes, but they give you karma. So I guess that kind of makes sense, that maybe I've had cancer, I deserve some good karma, no?
So, do you believe in karma? I mean, regardless of Reddit?
No.
I don't either, I'm just asking.
Well, I mean, if you act like an asshole all the time, it probably at some point you'll get it back in your face. But maybe not. Maybe you'll also just make 200 million, so billion. Who knows?
I mean, the number of horrible people who achieve great things it's just too monumental for karma to be a real thing.
You're probably right. I did watch a movie that was talking about karma, a documentary about Anthony Bourdain. You know, the chef?
Yeah, I know him.
Because, I figured after watching too much cancer stuff, how about I lighten up by watching something about a guy who kills himself? And he was in there talking to a different chef. I think it was, can't remember his first name, Antoine Ripert or something, Eric Ripert.
Yes.
He's a cook, not a repairman, as one could think. Mm-hmm. And what he was saying to Ripert, who's a Buddhist, if you believe in reincarnation, I mean, it can't get any better than this. You're going to be reincarnated as something shitty next.
This is not entirely stupid.
So I don't know if I get reincarnated, I get reincarnated into something better than someone with cancer?
But you've been dealt a pretty decent hand up till the cancer part of your life, so 39 years-ish.
That's true. So I might just get reincarnated into something worse.
Most likely.
Maybe I'll get reincarnated as a tumor. You know, what goes around comes around.
Is a tumor a living organism?
I guess, but everybody wants to kill it, so that's not nice.
So it's like Hitler.
I guess so.
I mean, it's been a while since we discussed that one bald bastard on this show. All right, so Joe, what is on the horizon from a medical point of view?
Well, I saw my doctor last week, the oncologist again, but he actually didn't have anything new to say other than that my white blood cell count was still pretty high. Other than that, he doesn't really have new information, as I've mentioned before. The next time he actually gets new information will be after my PET scan.
All right, so just to summarize, you've completed the chemo, you're doing the PET scan to figure out what is left of the cancer inside of your body, on your lungs and on your spine, and whether or not you need an operation. How's the portacath situation? Is it out yet?
Nope, it's still in. The surgeon doesn't want to take it out.
Because he's lazy?
No, my doc, the oncologist, asked him to. And his original reaction was, nah, I don't want to take it out because he's under blood thinners. So he still wanted the doc to operate, but the doc figured it's smarter to wait until I've had the PET scan and then most probably take the portacath out at the same time as they do whatever other operations I need.
So do you know when the operations will take place, if they happen?
If they do, probably not before at least the end of October-ish.
So the conspiracy theory of this episode leads us to think that, or leads me to think that your doctors gave you the wrong medicine. That's why you've turned into a purple-fingered, battery-sucking, sleep-deprived animal.
I'm pretty confident that my doctors and the nurses gave me the right stuff.
All right, so important question. You're 90-something% sure that the chemotherapy is done, and they're finding out whether or not they need to operate. But if the operations for some reason don't work because of complications or the location of the cancer bits, then will you be put back on chemo?
As always, I haven't really asked. I'm still doing the take it one day at a time thing, so I didn't ask for all the options. I know that I might not need these operations. I might not need any of them. Even the doctor said what's left against my spine could just be a dead piece of cancer. It could even be decided to just leave it there and do observation instead of operation.
So this sounds like a crime thriller, some sort of horror film where the dead pieces of cancer wake up like your evil twin brother inside of you and the cancer resurrects from the depths of hell.
That's kind of what it's like, yeah.
Are you saying a dead, mummified piece of cancer can, in theory, come back to life?
Well, that I hope not, but that's what the observation is for. If it's really dead, it can be completely dead, apparently, and not be a problem, but you still want to observe it in case it actually is not dead.
So what you're saying is that there are cancer patients out there, or should I say former cancer patients, who potentially have pieces of dead cancer inside of their bodies because of complicated locations, etc. So it just lies there as a sunken ship on the bottom of the sea?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Because he did mention leaving it in, so yeah, I guess so.
So that means you can carry your cancer around with you for the rest of your life inside your body as a constant reminder of that time you were dealt a shitty hand?
Sounds like the title for some romantic comedy or something.
Yes, a lot of romantic comedies are mostly about mummified cancer bits inside your body.
No, but it sounds like the I don't know, the chorus of the song, "You always have cancer inside of you." It's the big heartfelt moment at the end, you know?
That was Boys to Men, right?
Yeah, exactly. Boys to men, which I guess having a ball removed is doing the opposite. Is that going from men to boy again?
By the way, do we know the size, the actual size of the cancer bits on your lungs and on your spine?
We've already established smaller than a bread box.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff is smaller than a bread box. Unless you Swiss people have tiny little bread boxes with like room for one crumb. Ooh. pretty. Avec son fromage.
Thank you for that, Andreas.
So essentially, what we're saying is that we need more subscribers, more followers, more views, more likes. We need sponsors. We need someone to hire Joe. We need someone to do the subtitles. Is this too much to ask? I ask.
More of everything except for cancer is what we want, basically.
Yeah, nice wrap up. I like it. And on that note, I'll say to you, thank you very much, Joseph Barnes.
My pleasure, Andreas. And anyway, thanks again, everybody, for watching. As he said, like, subscribe, touch your balls. Make sure you don't have too much cancer there.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Bills and balls. Sayonara, folks.
Bye-bye.